What's your favorite memory from your childhood or worst memory? Ah, okay. Well, I have a slight little story here. Okay, chat, are you ready? This is a bit of a story time. So, so I will open with this statement. I hate barbecue sauce. I do not eat American barbecue. I do not like American barbecue. And for the love of God, I do not eat barbecue sauce. Never. If someone asks me, like at a fast food joint, do you want barbecue sauce with that? I'll throw it back at them. I do not want your dang barbecue sauce. And there's a reason for that. So, when I was a kid, growing up, my parents were very keen on feeding me healthy foods. So like usually this meant like, you know, like traditional Vietnamese cooking. And so when I went to school, I'd always bring like Viet food with me. And so I remember distinctly as a kid wanting to crave, like, I was craving Western food so bad. Like if my brother and I were good for like, we'd get McDonald's for our birthdays, you know, but like we never got to eat Western food. And so one day when I was in school, we were taking a field trip to a museum. Now the museum like had like a restaurant built into the side of it. So we were at the museum. We go there for our field trip, and so we're like looking around. There's like fun things to look at, whatever. And then at the during lunchtime, they pull us into the restaurant. Okay, it's lunchtime. We're gonna eat chicken tendies, and I was like, chicken tendies! I'm never gonna have these. It's like you can only eat so much pho until you get a little bit tired of it, you know. And so, They told us we're having like fried chicken and like chicken tendies. And I was like, hell yeah, brother. And so we all sat down, we got our food. The tendies were busting. The tendies were so good. I was having a full out-of-body experience from how good the tendies were. And so at that point, one of the waiters saw me enjoy the tendies so much. He was like, hey, do you want like, we have a special like in-house barbecue sauce. Do you want to try it? And I was like, hell yeah, brother. I didn't say that, but like I was like, hell yeah, brother. And so he gave me some packets of barbecue sauce. Now, just for context, these barbecue sauce are kind of like the packets of fancy ketchup at McDonald's, where it's all plastic, it's like all soft, and so you can squish it around a little bit, right? And so he gave me like a big fistful, I think like 15 packets of this barbecue sauce, and just put it on the table. I eat it with my chicken tendies. It's amazing. Oh my god, it's so good. And so like it's like I'm finishing up my tendies, eating up my sauce. They gave me so much sauce that I still had barbecue sauce left over. And so I was like, okay, I'll just take it home with me then. And so what I did was I was wearing pants. I always wear pants with my uniforms. I had big pockets. And so I took the leftover barbecue sauce and shoved it in my pockets. And so we left at the field trip area and we came back to the school. And so I still have barbecue sauce in my pockets, like his packets there. And so at this point, by the time we get back to school, it's too early to go home. But they're not going to make us learn anything because there's only 30 minutes left of school. What are we going to learn in 30 minutes, right? And so they're like, okay, so you know what? Just go in the playground. Just have fun for 30 minutes. We'll call you in when it's time to go home. And so cool. And so me being me, I hopped on the slide. You know where this is going. I rolled on the slide. Because I didn't just slide down. I jump and land on the slide. And like, I feel like a warm, wet feeling on my thighs. And like, I look behind me. There's a brown trail going down the slide. Chat, I genuinely thought I crapped myself. And like, I look back and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? And so like, I stood up. I got my hands out. I put my hands in my pocket and pulled them back out. My hands are covered in barbecue sauce. And we're just walking on the playground like a doctor who just washed his hands. Like, oh, move, I'm sterile. Like, I just walk with my hands up towards my face, covered in barbecue sauce from my pants and my hands. And the thing is, like, my pockets were deep. They were boy pants. And so, when I reached down to touch my pockets, the barbecue sauce was all the way up my forearms. And so like my entire hands and forearms and my pants and parts of my shirt were just covered in barbecue sauce. It was on my back too. So like I was covered in it. I walk up to the teacher and I'm like, something went wrong. And so like She took me to the bathroom and was like rinsing me off and that sort of thing. But the thing is like, mind you, it's hot. It's like 80 something, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot, hot, hot. And like, no matter how much they scrubbed, they could not get the smell of barbecue sauce off my body. And so like, I was also getting yelled at for like, oh, how come you had barbecue sauce in my pocket, blah, blah, blah. And so they sat me on the park bench by the playground, still smelling like, now like wet from the sink, smelling of barbecue sauce and like 90-degree heat for like another 15 minutes. It was the worst. And that's like my villain origin story. And now I cannot eat barbecue sauce. I just cannot touch it. I do not eat it. That's my villain origin story.